Good evening, everybody. Pleasure to be here. Always happy to be in the capital city. My name is, sorry, jump too fast. My name is Vivek. I am the Vice President of Sales for a company called Anthology, which I'll be obviously talking about a little bit. My responsibility is handling and heading the entire India business across the portfolio of functions. Um, what I, what you should expect from the next 10 minutes that I will be speaking on is what are the you have from morning. I think a lot of it has been said and heard, but you would have heard a lot about from the perspective of educators and people who run their institutes. There are some of my friends who are technology vendors as well, but I wanted to bring about a perspective of what we see as higher education challenges when we go and speak to clients, and we speak to clients across the world, and we look at those problems from the lens of technology and how technology can help solve some of those problems and in fact create them into opportunities. I'll be talking about how technology can tackle some of these challenges, some of real life examples of work we are doing with some clients, and why my company is best suited to help you solve these challenges. There are some interesting quotes. I like to always put these up. Alvin Toffler, you would probably recognize him as the author of Future Shock. He says that the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read or write. They'll be those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Very relevant, very telling statement for our times, right? Because it sort of is symptomatic of the shift from knowledge to skills of our side. Reading and learning is important, but those are table stakes now. What skills can you bring to the table? And those required skills change over time. The skills that were required 5 years back are not the skills which are valued in the market today, are not the same skills which are going to be valued in the market 5 years from now. So the key is for institutes like yourself, universities like yourself, is apart from impart the knowledge, how you can instill the culture of the curiosity to learn. How you have to teach them to learn, disseminating knowledge. Mark Cuban, you would know of him as the famous grumpy shark in Shark Tank. He says, artificial intelligence and ML, all these, if you don't understand it in 3 years, you're going to be a dinosaur. Now, why I like this one is not fancy terms, because those are very topical, that keeps changing. But what he's saying here, what really caught my eye is the two words, 3 years. He's essentially talking about somebody becoming irrelevant in their field if they are not keeping up with the requirements of the market. And what is 3 years? 3 years is the typical, undergrad duration that we have. So a learner comes into your institute, and by the time he or she passes out or graduates, they might become irrelevant unless something is done about that. And of course, this is another one. I always joke, another famous person. That's me. Of course, it's not very original, but it's something that I really thought about. If you look at different waves of technology over the past century, they have displaced different kinds of jobs. If you look at the automobile wave, which came in the early 20th century, it displaced the jobs of horse carriages and so on and so forth. Then came the machine assembly, etc., which removed the jobs from the shop floor. Now we're talking about driverless trucks, etc., and jobs which require driving around. Trucks are going to get eliminated. But what we are now talking about, thanks to generative AI, is a lot of jobs actually which can vanish in the creative field. And I think you would be aware of, I think if the strike is still going on, but the writer's block is up in arms in Hollywood because one of their demands is to the studios that stop giving writing work, and getting it generated through AI. So it's real now. AI is going to take out all kinds of jobs, including creative jobs now. So with all that, the number one problem and challenge that we see across the board is continued employability. Not just employability when the child or when the learner passes out or graduates from your institute, but continued employability. How you can, ensure that he or she is on a path to learning so that they remain, abreast of the requirements of the market. And while continued employability is a very fruitful destination, the journey also has to be equally enjoyable. So student experience is something which is very valuable, which has to be very personalized. I'll talk a little bit about that. And all this can be done using data-led insights. We still see, compared to other industries, higher education still is a bit of a laggard when it comes to using systems and educations for generating actionable insights. And I'll talk a little bit about that. If you look at a typical, student journey, comes right from, showing interest into your institute, applies, goes through the rigmarole of, applying for classes, classroom scheduling, the teaching and learning, etc., graduates, and then, becomes an alumni, right? Now, I can bet that every institute here has some sort of a system here to manage each aspect of this academic operation. The problem is that a lot of these have got sort of built over time and in an ad hoc basis, and hence very siloed. They don't talk to each other. And that's when the problem comes, when these systems don't talk to each other, you don't get a 360-degree view of the student or the faculty or the course that you're doing. Anthology's mission is to change all this, because our mission is to provide dynamic, personalized, data-informed learning experiences so that learners and educators can meet their goals. And we do that by enhancing operations, by improving efficiency of your systems, and by personalized data experiences to empower action. Doing that, what we do is, Anthology has systems in each and every aspect of this life cycle that I spoke about. Now, why is that important? Let's move backwards from what a learner comes to your institute for, employability. Now, you need to start working backwards. If I need to be employable by the time I graduate from your institute, what are the skills which will be required and be anticipated, which need to be anticipated, which will be required by the industry 3 or 4 years from now? If those skills are required, what are the skills that my current course that I have chosen is providing me? What is the delta gap? What can I do to bridge this delta gap? And hence, how can I get a line of sight into clear employability? How can I design my degree pathway? How can I design my courses? How can I redesign everything? It all starts from that. And once all these systems are harmonized, talk to each other, then the magic happens. And you can start building your path to success right from the beginning, instead of finding right at the end when you sit for placements and figure out, oops, these are the skills I'm lacking. That by that time it's too late. That has to start right at the beginning. And that's where Anthology Intelligent Experiences comes in. This is our vision of how IT systems in higher education needs to perform. By intelligent experiences, what we mean is we want to get all the data which is provided, which is coming and emanating out of these systems. We want to make meaningful analysis of this, and we want to take the cognitive load of analysis and analytics out of the user. The faculty should not be burdened with going through many reports, figuring out which course is doing well, then coming to the system and taking action. While the screen is on, the faculty should be able to take the action. The system should prompt the faculty that this is the kind of corrective action you need to take. That's what intelligent experience is all about. One of the things that, this is a small video which will run in the background. This is the employability module that we've built, in our product. What this does is, it marries real-time job market data with the program, courses that your institute is running. This video doesn't seem to be running. I hope it starts running. But what it essentially does is, your student can now see what are the courses they are doing and what is their dream job that they are preparing for. Once they click that, there is real-time market data which comes in about, okay, this is my dream job. What are the prospects of this job? What is the average salary? What is the demand for this job shrinking or expanding in the market? And you can marry that with the program data that is currently being offered by your institute, and you can see the gap, and the student can take corrective action right at the beginning. So they do that while charting, while designing their learning path at your institute rather than at the end of it. Unfortunately, this video did not play, but I think you get the gist of this employability module. It's very powerful. It can really help students and teachers navigate and chart a learning path for your learners so that employability is less of a problem. Student experience. Today's student, we are dealing with Gen Z or whatever is even more recent than Gen Z. I don't know what it is, but even Gen Z are notoriously infamous for being demanding instant gratification, low span of attention, and being entitled and so on and so forth. But they are exposed to consumer grade experience in all other aspects of their life. Why should they not have a right to demand that in learning as well? And it augurs well for us if we change ourselves, because that will keep the student and the learner more engaged. So having everything in one place, for example, our learning management system, which is Blackboard Learn, the world's leading LMS, brings all this in one place. The syllabus, the content, the digital assessments, the peer interaction, faculty feedback, everything is in one place. The student and the learner knows what's new and what's due. So everything, it's in one place. Fantastic learning experience. You all should definitely give it a try. Personalized learning. Once you embrace technology, if a faculty is teaching in a class of 60 students, yes, you can study the body language, gauge, etc., but you cannot give personalized attention to each and every student. That can be done through the use of technology. Once you have technology, there's a lot of data which comes in, and you can start acting on the data. Collaboration, this is something which was sorely missed during the COVID period. Yes, we went online and the lights were on as far as the institute is concerned. But what we heard about as feedback unanimously from all students as well as faculty is that human touch and interaction, that was missing. And that's a very key aspect of not only learning, but personality development of learners, right? Today, the learning management system that we have cannot replace the physical human interaction, but it can to a large extent overcome a lot of the challenges that distance poses. So there are a lot of tools that we've come up with which help in peer interaction, in collaboration, and so on and so forth. I talked about data-led insights. Very, very simple. The faculty can get rich data and prompts regarding how students are doing, how they are progressing. It's not like a summative assessment where you get at the end of it how the student is doing. Right when the course is going on, you can take action on, okay, these 20 students have not even started my course. These 15 students have completed only 10% of my course, even though 50% of the duration has elapsed. So you can take bulk action on these kind of students and nudge them on the path to success. You can also do the same sort of analytics at a course level. How is my course doing? If this course is not seeing kind of engagement from students that other courses are getting, I need to probably tweak this course and again nudge the students into further action. We claim to be the #1 edtech company in the world. We got 60 plus products, but obviously I cannot talk about all the products. But we've been doing this kind of work in customers over 80 plus countries, and we support about 150 million users. We got a significant presence in India as well. We got about 1,500 employees right in India supporting these global products. Blackboard LMS, you guys would have heard of. It's the leading LMS in the world. That's our product now. And we support, even though US, we have a lot of customers in India. We've struck some amazing partnerships, and we're doing some very good work. Some of the customers were right here on stage speaking. So we're very proud of the work we are doing, and we would like to engage and work with more of you, in case you are interested. Our booth is right here. It's the one called Anthology, right around the corner, and I'll be around. So in case you have any queries, you can please swing by and we can have a talk. And I have wrapped 22 seconds in advance. So Unless there are any questions, I'm done. Thank you.